Who's ready to hear about some of my follow up tips for myself that might actually help you out too? Back in 30 seconds. Haven't used this in a long time. For old time's sake, hang on. I used to always use that intro, but this particular one sounds like it needs life support. What happened? It used to be faster. I don't know. Hi, I'm Jan. I'm from New York City, and I love to help people keep more of their hard earned money. I like to keep more of my own too. There you go. How's everybody doing today? Thank you for coming back. Going to talk to you today specifically on actionable steps that I personally need to take to get my stockpile back in order. Just pulling up to my banners and we'll get started. And here's the first thing that I'm going to need to do. I am going to definitely need to reevaluate my stockpile needs. Well, this is true. What do I need? What do I not need? I did notice like a few months back that the pasta usage was very sluggish. Even though I like pasta, when you're a family of one, how much pasta can one eat? And I would break up one box of pasta into 4 sections, for example. I would just use, let's say, about a cup of dry pasta for my needs anytime I would make a meal, unless I was using it in a soup, for example, and needed more to stretch the soup, if you will. But I don't need all that much pasta. So I learned a lesson not to buy too much pasta. Just saying, just saying. The good news is pasta, relatively speaking, can keep for a little bit, which is pretty good. Next on the list, I need to consider not just my stockpile needs, but also consider my stockpile wants. There may be things that I want. I noticed on one of the At Home with Lynn Wilson Everyday Living shows, one of her videos mentioned that it's okay to buy a few of those comforting foods and keep them available in your stockpile. You just never know. And let's say you do lose power for a few days, you just might crave a little snack cake, for example. Am I saying that's the healthiest choice to make? No. But I will give myself permission once in a great while to stock up on a box or two of something that will keep, that is shelf stable. So that's a stockpile want. Of course, I'm going to go for my stockpile needs first. Needs are much more important than wants, always. Next on the list, I'm going to set a timeline goal. What do I mean by that? Well, am I going to say for a 2-week stockpile or a 1-month stockpile? That is still yet to be determined. So I'm just going to get started rebooting again, let's say for 1 month. So in my case, it's going to be 1 month's worth of groceries for the stockpile. It's always good to start small. That way one does not get overwhelmed. At least I definitely know that is the case for me. How about you? Let me know about that in the comment section below. Next, unlike most people, I actually get to turn around and rewatch my own videos from last year. I want to see what I bought, where I was at that time, and do any basis of comparison and say, yeah, it was a good idea that I bought such and such or whatever. I do remember this. There were a couple of weeks last January that was absolutely, totally like bone chilling. And trust me, you don't want to be out in the street on those very windy, blizzardy type days. We did have a couple of those days last January. Therefore, I'm going to reevaluate it again by rewatching my own videos from last year. Next on the list, I want to create a stockpile spending limit per haul. Now, if you are totally brand new to stockpiling, there is a video. There are many videos, but I strongly suggest, once again, you go to any channel of your choice where you enjoy watching the video. But to me, the ones that resonate the most come from people like Rhoda Stone and At Home with Lynn Wilson, Everyday Living channel. They get item specific about the methodology of stockpiling and starting small in chewable, livable baby bites. So, strongly suggest, if you've never done it before, to consider those channels. So, if you'd like to, and I strongly suggest you do, I encourage you to check out those channels for that information. Okay, just a minute. Next on the list, always know that our stockpiles are ever changing. While I might have felt a little badly showing you the depleted stockpile, because that is real life, and I went into it and I used it because I needed to use it. But I didn't do anything wrong. Stockpiles are not our personal decoration. Now, keep in mind, I am a family of one. So if you're going to watch a video of mine looking at my stockpile, well, you might say, well, shouldn't there be like 3 or 4 more shelves for my personal needs, for myself? No, I am a family of one. Now, if you're watching a video or hear of other people or see other people's stockpiles and they have 3, 5 kids or whatever, husband, different ball game. You're going to see a completely different situation. Never compare your situation to someone else's. You have to evaluate and assess the needs that honestly fit you for your family. Next, and finally, begin from scratch and start small. This is my very best suggestion. Don't be afraid that there are going to be times that you have to reboot. Just like I made the decision, well, it's time. I wanted to reboot a few weeks back, then I had other projects going on. And at that moment in time, it just was not the priority at the moment. But time did go by, and I kept using the stockpile, and that's a good thing. Nothing went to waste. Nothing hit beyond expiration. All good in my personal opinion. So now it's just simply a time of gathering some more. And isn't it interesting that at this time of the year, being the fall, the time of the year at the harvest time, that I feel like gathering some more? What says you about that? I think that's a good thing. All right. Listen, I really hope that this video helps someone. And I encourage anyone who can to begin a stockpile. I'm going to start fresh all over. I'm going to check back in. You're going to follow my journey if you'd like to. In about a month, I'm going to show you some of my progress in about 1 month. But all of us need to do what this lady does. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care. Bye-bye.